Well, hello everybody. I think a ghostly psychedelic thing is playing around me. So just let me fix this. I think I should switch on the tube light above my head. I think this camera is too weak to handle this low light or this spotlight situation alone. Well, just wait for a bit. Ah, this is much better now. Sorry for this cumbersome thing. And while good evening, Piyush, and thank you for being my first viewer in YouTube. And let me tell you, while some other viewers arrive, that this is my first ever live on YouTube, and I think we have already 6 viewers. Uh, Welcome to all of you. And today we are going to discuss the Happy Prince of Class 8. And by the way, it is also an quote unquote official class, but at the same time, it's a kind of experimentation at the same time. Good evening, Shajid. Good evening, Debojyoti. Good evening, everybody. So you see, because I have come live in Facebook, sorry, instead of Facebook in YouTube today, I have a couple of, or more than a couple of reasons. And of course, the number one reason is that while I was doing things in Facebook last day, I had some issues with this recent update of the Facebook Live thing. And that's why I thought, why not switch to YouTube instead. Number two, I have never been live on YouTube previously, and because my channel strength, I mean the viewer subscriber strength is not over a K, that means 1,000 subscriber. I do not have the permission to come live from my mobile device, and the previous laptop I used to have, that was kind of, I mean, horrible. It's a kind of prehistoric thing, so there was no possibility that you could come from that laptop. And since I have a new one, it is one more reason to come live in here. And of course, the third reason, and last but of course it should not be counted the least, rather it is one of the primary reasons, or it is the main reason. Let's not deny this, that it's been almost many days that I have not posted anything on this channel. I was too idle, I was too indolent. While I was taking classes on Facebook, I thought of producing things for this YouTube. But you see, producing things in YouTube really needs a lot of post-production procedures. You need to do some edits, crops and adjustments, lots of things other than teaching. So I was I was kind of really I was very lazy. I have been lazy, and I still am. That's why I have come live instead of producing those videos. Anyway, so far we have 14 viewers with us. And yeah, good evening, Borshapal, Shumayo, good evening, and Konkon, good evening, everybody. And because we are coming on YouTube, I think we should. Can you please tell me in the comment section that where were we actually? I mean the spot where we actually stopped while we were reading Happy Prince on Facebook. Can you please tell me that? Tell me that in the comment section, please. I think it's up to Unit 2, but I'm not quite sure, and that's why I'm asking you. Is it so? Yeah, as I expected, we will start the Unit 3 today. But keeping in mind that we have come to a new platform, and I have already some subscribers. I don't know whether they are watching or not. I mean the previous subscribers or people who are not here, except you guys who are from school and our class. So let's have a very quick recapitulation of Happy Prince and the thing which we already discussed in our previous two classes. And I think interface in YouTube is much more tactile and much more interactive than in Facebook. That's it. Now, Happy Prince, to have a quick summing up, Happy Prince actually is a very popular short story written by a very popular writer, British writer, Oscar Wilde. Yep. And he has more famous story, as I told you, in his repertoire, in his collection, that is the Selfish Giant. Apart from that, apart from these are actually the children's stories, but he also is the writer of some other better or more important plays like the picture of a Dorian Gray and being the importance of being honest and all these stuffs. And I'm not going into the discussion of Selfish Giant, but we are discussing the Happy Prince. And before discussing or before diving into the text, let me tell you again, as a kind of recapitulation, that this text presents you a drama which was actually not written by Oscar Wilde. It was actually a short story, and you have a dramatization, an abridged dramatization of the story. And when I told you, when you have a dramatized version of a story, you have some certain limitations. You have certain limitations that your you cannot afford to write that he thought this, he thought that this. It happened in the beginning. You as a writer do not enjoy these liberties, because what you are writing a drama for, it is meant for being produced on stage. And on stage you cannot just have the liberty of moving with time or moving away from time, going into the past and moving into the future. All these things, you are pretty much restricted as a playwright uh, when you are writing a play. And that's why, in order to dramatize a previously written story into a play, you need to employ certain techniques to delineate something which is rather easy in delineating in a short story or in a novel as such. So হ্যাঁ, যেটা বলছিলাম যে, and that's why our dramatizers, I don't know who has dramatized it, but he had to introduce certain characters like student 1, student 2, which we already have read, যে, in order to describe what Happy Prince looked like, or who Happy Prince is, and what was the predicament. I mean, predicament means the situation in which we now have, or we now conceive Happy Prince as we read the story. তো এইগুলো আমরা পড়েছিলাম, and we read that, and we know by virtue of reading the text that Happy Prince is actually a statue. He used to be a person in his previous life. He died prematurely. He died as a prince. He died as a boy, and while he lived in his father's palace in Sanssouci, his father was afraid of letting any unhappiness enter or intrude into the periphery of Happy Prince, and that's why he built up some high walls surrounding the garden of Happy Prince, or surrounding the palace of the Happy Prince. And that's why the Happy Prince, or the prince, he he was born happy, he lived happily, and he died happily, and that's why he was named as, or he was nomenclated as, the Happy Prince. But and he was made a statue and put up on the center of the city itself, and he became the embodiment of happiness. Embodiment means he became the embodiment of happiness, means that মানে আমরা বাংলায় বললে যে আমরা যেটাকে বলি যে কি বলবো হাসির সরি well you have, yeah, I found one task after I have posted that. I will check it for sure. I will check it for sure. Don't worry. But still I have now found that the progress of this increase of viewers or the students, that is slow. Well, let them come at least. Just a second, I have a phone call to attend. Hello. ক্লাসে আছি আমি। ঠিক আছে। Okay, so you always have interruptions. Never mind, and I think it's storm in coming. So will you please excuse me for a couple of seconds? I will just come back by shutting the windows. I'm alone in house, so I'll just come back. Sorry for the interruption, and well, where were we? হ্যাঁ, যেটা বলছিলাম যে and that is being described in the first few dialogues or conversations between amongst student 1, student 2, student 3, and of course the man who enters the stage, and also the mother and the child. But the main thing that we have the main thing that is being discussed in this text of Happy Prince, that is, one is happiness, which I already discussed in the previous days, and the other is a story of a real friendship between, of course, Happy Prince and the swallow. What friendship is, what friendship is translated to be, and all these stuffs. And as I told you, that what is happiness? Happiness, of course, as you told me with your kind words and beautiful interpretations, that happiness, of course, is a state of mind, and the real happiness does not mean achieving materialistic pleasure. The real happiness is in sharing, and whatever it is, it doesn't matter, but the real happiness lies in sharing things, and so does Happy Prince. He is sharing things. He is sharing not only his physical wealth, but also actually his emotions. And what is swallow sharing? Can you please tell me? We have already gone to read 2 units. Now, if I ask this question at this point, having read 2 units, that what if this text is about happiness, and as I told you that happiness lies in sharing things, which Happy Prince is doing, then what actually is The swallow sharing. Will you please type it in the comment, your answers? Can you please tell me what is the thing that the swallow is sharing? Happy Prince is sharing his well. Happy Prince is sharing his emotions, his sympathy amongst the poor or the poverty stricken, yeah, people. Yes, thank you. Embodiment Shatta. Shatta, I don't think so. Shatta is entity. But embodiment মানে হচ্ছে মূর্তিকরণ বা এরকম কিছু একটা। ওকে, সত্তা ঠিক নয় কিন্তু সত্তা is entity. I have two different entities in me. সত্তা, ঠিক আছে, but embodiment is something else. The question what I asked you, will you please tell it in the comment that what exactly you think is the swallow sharing and with whom? After getting some answers from you, we will move on to unit 3. But let's have some answers from you. Let's have some brainstorming stuffs. Let you tell me that, yes, good evening, Indra. But will you please tell me, as I just asked, if you have now joined that, and two of us have already left. The swallow was sharing, Devojiti is saying the swallow was sharing his help or effort with the Happy Prince. Very good, very good. Yes, he was sharing his help and effort with Happy Prince. And anybody wants to say something else or wants to differ from Devojiti? Anybody? The clouds are rumbling outside. It was supposed to be because today was heavily humid and hot. Okay. And now we have the ripping apart in the skies. Well, no, sir. What no? Okay. Well, in that case, I think what Devojyoti has said is quite right. That what Swallow is sharing, Swallow is actually sharing his help or effort, and despite knowing that it is actually straining him and he's not going to make it for long in that cold country, he's still helping. And that's what help or sharing is all about. You share, and until and unless your heart, that sharing is not actually sharing. We always say that sharing is caring, we teach the little children. Nowadays it has become a kind of trend that sharing is caring. But the thing that we do not tell them, or we do not actually tell ourselves as well, that sharing, of course sharing is caring, but sharing is sharing itself until and unless you hurt yourself. Okay, you have plenty of things, and from that you give a few, very few, which does not make any difference. It is actually not sharing. It is actually some distribution of your ego. Okay, anyway, we have already discussed all these things. So keeping all these things in mind, let us move forward to unit 3. Let me unplug the charger of the laptop because I don't think that is very advisable when it is lightning so much. Well, unit 2 ended on a note of an impending doom or an impending casualty of Happy Prince, on a note where the statue of the Happy Prince said that I see a poor little girl in the town square. She has no shoes. Little swallow, please give her the sapphire remaining in my other eye. One is already given. So the Happy Prince is blind by one eye already, and if the second one is also plucked, he will be completely blind. He will be completely blind. And Swallow, who has already uh, certified his friend to have a golden heart. So it is clear that Swallow is very much in love with his friend. And as a good friend of Happy Prince, it will be very, very cruel and painful for Swallow to pluck out his friend's eye. So Swallow is saying quite evidently that impossible, I can't make you blind. And in unit 3, in page 77, statue, please help me, little Swallow. So it's not a great deal of conversation that we have, because the playwright did not want to elongate the play very much. It would have been better there had there been some kind of argument between the statue and the swallow regarding plucking of the eye, because that's not just something that you do easily, or just with one command from yours. The swallow plucks the other sapphire from the princess' eye. He goes to the cardboard cottage and removes the curtain. A little girl is discovered weeping inside. The swallow flaps its arms and goes in. He drops the sapphire into the girl's hand. So again, one more help to one more poverty-stricken person, or a help to again an impoverished person. Let me write this thing for you. Impoverished, it means you are, when somebody is poverty stricken, it means impoverished. Girl, that's so nice. She looks up amazed. Swallow flies out. He pulls the curtain back, flies to the Happy Prince. The stage light changes to blue. See, the stage light, I told you that there is a connection of the stage light with the change of emotions in the play or in the story, that when your emotion, or when the weather on the stage is cold, or when your emotions are cold, the stage light changes to blue. And when you feel warmth, or when the climate is warm, you feel a kind of the stage light changes into yellow, as we have noticed that yellow is the tone of warmth and blue is the tone of coldness. And well, the viewers are not increasing. I mean, is it because I have switched the platform, or is it because, I mean, was this supposed to happen? Anyway, you can also rewatch this, the total thing, if you want, or if you are missing this out, you can of course come and rewatch on this platform. The stage light changes to blue. Why? Now because the coldness is actually striking the Happy Prince. And there is another significance of coldness. Can you tell me what is the other significance apart from a coldness in your feeling? What else is the significant? I mean, blue is actually the significance of coldness, and what coldness actually signifies on the other hand? Blue ঠান্ডা symbolize করে, আর ঠান্ডা কি symbolize করে on the other hand? Will you please come up with your answers? Yeah, of course. YouTube Live is much better than FB Live because I mean it is much more optimized. I think you're right, and things are very intuitive. No, please tell me. What do you think? What do you think? Coldness is a symbol of. It can be symbolic of many things, but contextually, what do you think coldness is symbolizing? I'm waiting for your comments. What does coldness signify or symbolize? Yeah, sadly so. The number of viewers have been decreasing. I don't know why, but well, let's not discuss about this, but concentrate on your studies. That's what we are doing here. To stay at peace, coldness can be either used to symbolize. I think you have mistaken the spelling of symbolize. It is SYM, symbolize loneliness, guilt, or sadness. Okay, of course, they can be, but I think that is Borshupal who wrote to stay at peace. No, here does not, it does not mean that when you are saying cold, it do not quite mean peace. Of course, peace it can be, but I mean something deeper, or something even more intense than what Devojyoti said, that loneliness or guilt or sadness. No, coldness, Indra is saying that coldness is the symbol of emotions. Uh, but what type of emotion? That Devojyoti said that when you feel lonely or guilt conscious, or Shomadip is saying adjective having relatively little warmth or low temperature, cold, whether cold hands without sufficient proper. No, that is actually, you see, Shomadip, that is the lexical meaning of coldness. But I want to have the symbol. Well, the symbols that you have told me is quite right, but I want a deeper symbol, a symbol which is connected with a deeper thing like life and death, that much deep. Sadness, fearfulness, uh, cold cannot be a symbol of sadness or fearfulness. I'm afraid that it can't be called so. Again, uh, I have to shut these windows too, so please, again, I will be in the screen, but face opposite from you, as just again bear with me. Sorry, this rain is actually distracting me very much. Yes, cold is symbolized with death. No, yeah, cold is the symbol of death. Of course, that is it. Cold. Bad sense, you have mistaken the spelling. It's SENSE. Bad sense, you see, bad is a very canopy word. I have told you several times that if you can, please do not use the word bad. If you want to suggest something, আমরা বাংলায় যখন বলি খারাপ, ইংলিশে ব্যাড কথাটা দেখবে চট করে কেউ বলে না, because bad can be described with so many other things. Okay, like মানে he's a bad boy. It's very juvenile, it's very childish type of thing. He's wicked, he's naughty, he's devilish, or whatever. There are so many things you can say, but bad sense, it does not actually make any sense. uh, so I don't yes, that is end of life or death. Why? Because when you die, or when we die, your body becomes cold. When you die, when we die, our body becomes cold, rigor mortis sets in, it is rigid and everything. And happy prince, here why the stage light changes to blue? Because it is suggesting coldness, and coldness is suggesting that both happy prince, the weather is being very cold, the swallow is getting very stuck with the inner coldness, though the warmth he has in his body, in his mind, but still the coldness is actually getting them. And the life of happy prince is getting cold, of course, from outside, because he's shedding of his materials, his uh, wealth, everything that he has, and slowly and steadily both of them, they are forwarding to to their death. And that's why coldness, bluish tone, all these things are used very significantly to symbolize that impending death on there, which is looming large over their head. Okay, so the stage light changes to blue. Swallow, you are blind now. I must stay with you always. It's too cold here. So you see, that is what friendship is all about. That is what friendship is all about. That you should never leave your friend. That is the sweetest relationship you can ever have in this world. It's not like the relationship between a husband and a wife, or uh, the relationship between the siblings, or the relationship between any kind of uh, I mean, any kind of relationship. The friendship is according to me, it is the best relationship in the world, because you do not have any expectations from anybody, but still you will be there. If you are true friends, you will be there forever for your friend. And swallow was supposed to leave right after this date, but now he sees that leaving his friend will be a tremendous treachery in this hour. That when somebody is dependent on you, when somebody is taking refuge at you, you should never leave his company, or you should never leave that person destitute. It is a great thing that the swallow has done. কেউ বলতে পারবে এটার একটা খুব সিমিলার Devojyoti has said something. Please see my comment. We can feel cold while we do something well. I don't think so, Devojyoti. Actually, I think it is the opposite. What the swallow has felt, that though it is cold outside, if we do something good to somebody, we feel warm inside. It's not that we feel cold inside when we do something good to somebody, because it's not quite likely. Yeah, sorry, I did not see your comment previously. Anyway, হ্যাঁ, তো যেটা বলছিলাম যে can you have some kind of reference of a text which you know very well, which all of us একটা বড়, একটা বিশাল বড় একটা text, it's a very It's an epic, which we are very much familiar with, the epic. And in that epic, we have a reference to this type of shit, notifications are disturbing. Um, the note, sorry, I'm a little bit these. হ্যাঁ, যেটা বলছিলাম যে আমাদের একটা খুব পরিচিত এপিক আছে, একটা মহাকাব্য আছে যেখানে we have a reference of not living a destitute, and that was proved to be a very great work or the greatest work of your somebody's life. Can you refer to it? মনে আছে কারোর? দেখি. Well, let me give you the clue. It is in Mahabharata. Mahabharata আছে, but what exactly it is? Can you tell me? Just mention me the part. You don't have to describe it in detail. If you can give me the clue or the scene where when it happens, or where who is the person, I will tell you the story. Can you tell me? Something that happens in Mahabharata, the epic, where a person did not leave somebody who had taken his refuge, who had taken his shelter, and that's why he was proved to be a great person or greatest of the persons. Can you refer to that incident? When did it happen? No, it's not Lord Krishna. It's not Lord Krishna. You are not right, my dear. Let's see something else. It's not Arjun as well. It's not Arjun. Not Karna. Yudhishthira. Maybe you are right, but can you tell me the incident? No, we have got the answer. It is Yudhishthira. But when? When? What did he do? Yudhishthira did a lot of good things because he was goodness, he was justice personified. But what exactly is the thing that I am referring to which has a resemblance to here? No, it's Yudhishthira. যে ও একজনকে ত্যাগ করেনি, কাকে কাকে? Can you tell me? When? Yes, that is exactly the thing. Yudhishthira did not leave his dog. That is the incident. Thank you. Thank you. That is the thing I have been referring to. Let me say this in Bengal. যে যখন পাণ্ডবরা 5 ভাই এবং তাদের পত্নী দ্রৌপদী সবাই মিলে মহাপ্রস্থানের পথে যাচ্ছে, and one by one they are falling down. এক্স্যাক্টলি, ধর্ম অ্যান্ড সত্য। যে প্রথমে দ্রৌপদী পড়লো, তারপরে মনে হয় সহদেব, তারপর নকুল, তারপরে অর্জুন, তারপর ভীম, তারপর আর কেউ থাকলো না, এবং যুধিষ্ঠির একা, এবং যুধিষ্ঠির নেভার লুক ব্যাক টু দেম, বিকজ when somebody dies you never look at them when you are actually uh, you are actually going to the path of heaven. মানে তোমার সব রকম মোহ ত্যাগ করে যেতে হয়, এটাই হচ্ছে উদ্দেশ্য। দ্যাটস ওয়াই ইউ আর নট লিভিং দেম, সরি, ইউ আর নট লুকিং ব্যাক এট দেম। তো টোটাল সময়টাতে যুধিষ্ঠিরের সঙ্গে একটা কুকুর ছিল, এবং সেই কুকুরটা যুধিষ্ঠিরের আশ্রয় গ্রহণ করেছিল, তার সঙ্গে সঙ্গে একসঙ্গে যাচ্ছিল, এবং 5 ভাই এবং 5 ভাই যখন 4 ভাই যখন পড়ে গেলেন, দেন যুধিষ্ঠির তিনি ওই কুকুরটা দেখাশোনা করছিলেন, এবং দ্য ডগ বিকেম ডিপেন্ডেন্ট অন লর্ড যুধিষ্ঠির। এবং তারপরে কিছুক্ষণ পর স্বর্গ থেকে রথ এলো, রথ এসে বললো যে ইউ আর রিয়েলি আ ভেরি truthful person, and that's why you have the right to go to or to come to heaven with your own body, which nobody can. সশরীরে স্বর্গে যাওয়া। তো তখন এবং যমরাজ তিনি বললেন যে ঠিক আছে, তুমি সবাইকে ত্যাগ করেছো, এবার তুমি চলো আমার রথেও। তখন যুধিষ্ঠির বলে না, আমাকে কুকুরটাকেও নিতে হবে। তখন উনি বলেন না, কুকুর টুকুরকে নেওয়া যাবে না, তুমি তোমার ফলের জন্য, তোমার ভালো কাজের জন্য তুমি যাচ্ছ, সুতরাং তোমাকে একা আসতে হবে। তিনি বলেন না, আমি পারবো না যেতে, তাহলে আমাকে আই বেটার নট গো টু দ্য হেভেন, কারণ আমার কাছে আশ্রিতকে আশ্রয় দেওয়া, যে আমার আশ্রয় গ্রহণ করেছে, যতক্ষণ পর্যন্ত না তাকে আমি আইদার ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্ট বানাচ্ছি, অথবা যতক্ষণ পর্যন্ত সে আমার আশ্রয়ে আছে, আমার তাকে ছাড়া উচিত নয়, সেটা অধর্ম। এবং তখন বললো আচ্ছা, এটাও একটা টেস্ট ছিল, ওই কুকুরটা ইটসেলফ ওয়াজ ধর্ম, হি ওয়াজ লর্ড ধর্ম, অর দ্য লর্ড ধর্ম। He came to he left his guise of dog and appeared in his true self before Yudhishthira, and together they have taken him to the heaven. So হ্যাঁ, একদম সেই কুকুরটা ধর্মই ছিলেন। তো দেখো, সেই রকম ব্যাপারই খানিকটা এখানে হচ্ছে। You do not have all those you do not have lords, you do not have gods, at least I do not believe they are there, but we do have gods, but they live in us, they live in even lesser mortals than us, like those birds, those dogs, and everything out there. Okay, so you have to recognize them. And here swallow is not leaving his blind friend. He was supposed to leave. Now that he is blind, he is not leaving him. So you see how kind, how magnanimous is our little swallow. Okay, so let's read further. No, little swallow, you must fly away to Egypt and the sun. It's quite it's ridiculous, from the point of view of the statue, that he had been insisting him on staying on his stay, but now that he is blind, and now that the cold is actually setting in too much into the body of the swallow, now he is insisting him on his flight. So it's a kind of ridiculous thing that statue is saying. But again, the swallow is doing his bit, that I'm staying with you. Statue, little swallow, if you stay, fly over this land, tell me what you see. So up to now, the swallow was the hands of the happy prince, with which the happy prince reached the territories of his kingdom. And now that the prince is blind as well, the swallow has become his eyes too. The চোখ হয়ে দেখা দিয়েছে, ঠিক আছে? The stage goes dark, A blue spotlight tracks the swallow. He is making a flying motion, এরকম ভাবে flapping its arms. কোথায় গেল? Sorry, flapping his arms. He runs around the stage in a circle. The stage goes dark again, stays dark for 4 seconds. A red spotlight falls on a bunch of beggars in front of the stage, their clothes torn. Torn মানে ছিঁড়ে যাওয়া. It's always used in this participle form. Look hungry and miserable. Running, the swallow crosses the stage before them, flapping its arms right wing to left wing. Stage darkens again. Blue stage light comes on immediately. The swallow faces the happy prince from the left. Swallow, I saw many unhappy and unfed people. Statue, take all the gold from my body and give it to the poor people. আমার গা থেকে যত সোনা আছে সমস্ত তুলে নিয়ে ওদের মধ্যে ডিস্ট্রিবিউট করে দাও. The swallow makes a plucking motion with its mouth on the happy prince's golden tunic. The stage darkens. The same beggars who appeared previously are seen again, clustered on the stage. Cluster, জড়ো হওয়া, ছড়িয়ে ছিটিয়ে. ঠিক আছে? They are wearing good clothes, look better. They are eating and laughing. A single red spot holds them on the dark stage. The stage darkens briefly. Blue light comes on. The swallow is discovered sitting on the pedestal-shaped box. Now it is we are heading towards the nemesis, the something that is inevitable, that is going to happen. The end which we did not want to happen. After so many good things, after doing so many good things, the swallow has given in. The swallow is discovered sitting on the pedestal-shaped box, leaning against the happy prince's feet. He is looking unwell and drooping. Drooping মানে এরকম করে ঝিমোচ্ছে. The happy prince has given away all the gold on his body. He is wearing a gray tunic. So gray is the symbol of sordidness. Gray is the symbol of sordidness. Sordidness বাংলায় বললে যাকে আমরা বলি রিক্ততা, সমস্ত কিছু দেওয়ার পরে শূন্য হয়ে গেলে আমার রিক্ত হাত. That is sordidness. I don't have anything. And gray is the color of that sordidness. Okay, so both happy prince and his friend the little swallow, they are unwell, they are not good. Swallow, goodbye my friends. Statue, you are going to Egypt. I'm happy about that. Swallow, I'm not going to Egypt. I'm going to the house of the brother of sleep. The cold has got me, I'm dying. So it's very sharp lines, painful lines. The swallow falls down on the pedestal-shaped box, its face expressing sorrow, and lies crumpled between the two legs of the happy prince. When a bird dies, it's basically just a lump of an earth, like something like that. It's just ছোট্ট একটা মাটির ঢালার মতন হয়ে যায়. You don't have a great deal of body mass of a little bird. It's crumpled, মানে কুঁচকে পড়ে আছে. See the pathetic fate that they undergo. A sad music is played in the background. The stage light changes to yellow. 4 people enter from the right wing, led by an important-looking man in red coat and trousers. He is the mayor of the town. He is accompanied by the town councillors. They talk as they approach the statue. Now, we will end here. আমরা এই অবধি পড়বো because the next part অল্প একটু আছে, এটা আজকে শেষ করে দেওয়াই যেত, but I love to read this type of this particular part after the death of the swallow. It is hilarious and it represents the actual behavior of the persons in power, the political persons, the persons who are basically the rulers. It exposes them, it exposes their corruption and their boastfulness and the meaninglessness of their actions. So that's why we reserve this for the next day slot. And up to this much. Okay, Piyush, you can of course rewind and rewatch after I end this live stream. So if your connection is slow, but again, thank you for joining me in here, and let me end this live stream right here. And I hope I will come up with not only these live videos but also with some, I mean, normal video uploading as well. So I think it's time to be a little bit. I mean, a type of workout I have to do. But anyway, we will read after this, after in the next live session on the next day, and I think we will stay in here. YouTube, I find the live session. Yeah, the homework. Yeah, sure. Um, you have done the activity 10B, I think, and do activity 10A as your homework. That is the homework, Piyush, and everybody. The homework should be activity 10A, write an imaginary dialogue about 80 words. Again, do not go by the word limit. Write to your heart's content. That write an imaginary dialogue between two birds in winter, one of whom is flying away to a warm country, and the other who is stuck in a cold land. Okay. No, send the homework in the Facebook group. Okay, send the homeworks in the Facebook group. সেখান থেকে দেখা সুবিধা হয় because Facebook downloading stuff from Facebook is easier than downloading stuff from WhatsApp. So please send your WhatsApp in Facebook. Okay. So again, thank you for joining in here. Next day we will move in the official class on this Thursday, I think, yeah, at 7 or 7:30. I will let you know previously, and until then, bye for now.